So today, this is not the last session, I guess. But
this is the last session. After that, we will be having an award ceremony or something like that for best game.
Oh, that sounds great. Then we will talk about Web3 and Web3 games now. And I have my questions here.
Yeah, and I don't have them.
Besides my question, we have a very precious guests here. So I just want you to introduce yourself to our audience, please, and we can start with you, Uluc.
Okay. My name is Uluc. I'm the co-founder of Curator Studios. Curator Studios is a Web2 native, Web3 gaming company. Well, I started my story started like 25 years ago with Lehman Brothers, and yes, I've seen it all: Web 1, Web 2, Web 3 all together. And I've been in gaming since 6 years, and blockchain like 3 years. I was captivated by the technology, and like 8 months, 10 months ago, we founded our studio, and we've been developing our first game called Fight League. Fight League is an auto battler / card building game. It's kind of mash of team fight tactics and hard ground, actually. And it's been a great experience, and we're looking forward for it.
Thank you. And John, I know you very well.
Yeah. Let me introduce myself. Since I introduced myself, I will be actually quick about it. My name is John, and I am from Castrum, Istanbul, a Web3 blockchain ecosystem. I'm the CTO of the Castrum Games, and in Castrum, Istanbul, what we do is basically we are creating, shaping a Web3 ecosystem. That means castle in Latin language. Castrum means castle, and we are trying to actually build an ecosystem that we help our partners, that we help the whole Web3 community while we are not actually like hurting them. We're just trying to defend ourselves. This is our actually main idea, main topic behind everything. So we try to actually improve the Web3 ecosystem. We know that there might be hard times in Web3. We know that it is not the actual power of the Web3 right now. We're not seeing even like maybe 10% of it, but I'm aware of that. We are aware of that. We are not even seeing the full potential of the Web3 right now. So what we do is basically with all the departments inside the Castrum Istanbul, we are trying to improve the Web3 ecosystem, and even more than that, our locomotive, Castrum Capital, is using these departments on the projects that we invested, so that the invested projects are becoming stronger and stronger every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Ihor.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Igor. I am founder of Cubine. We are a blockchain development company, basically from the fintech market. And here on the AGC conference, we are proposing the games to transition from Web 2.0, Web 2.5 to Web 3 with all our technological expertise that we got from 2016 approximately. We already have successful projects in the Web3 gaming, good partnership collaborations, and we expand our network in the, let's call it, big alliance to push the industry every year by year to the market. It's still early. Maybe next year it's still early, but the halving of Bitcoin will be in 1 year. After that, the crypto, we expect, it's not financial advice, we expect will grow like previously. Maybe it will be also too early. Next year, we expect to get market fit, so like in 2-3 years, something like that. That Web3 games will get their mass adoption in some meaning of this word, not like every person will have access to web games, Web3 games, but at least like 20% of the market will be Web3, something like that.
Thank you. So my first question. We know all about the first wave of Web3 games, but we call them also play-to-earn games. And most of the people in the gaming industry especially think that those games are failed. What do you think about it? What they did? And do you think that they failed first? And then what do you think about it actually? What is the reason of their failure?
Should I go?
Yeah.
Okay. First, I want to see something, like how many people have wallets here? Can you raise hands? And how many people they at one time bought and sold an NFT? Okay, interesting. All right. I think it's very early to say in this industry, in this space, something failed or something succeeded because we don't have the blueprint yet. Okay, and early adopters are always kind of like that. I mean, but like if you talk about scapegoat, we always talk about Axie Infinity, right? So you're looking at play to earn. And it paved the way for a lot of things. First of all, it turns it around, right? And a lot of talents from Web 2 started coming in, started pouring into Web 3 because of Axie Infinity. They looked at Axie Infinity, they said there's a certain mechanic here we can work on, we can do better. Game, well, it sucks, yes, okay, but we can do better game. So it attracted a lot of talent to here. If you guys remember, this happened in the mobile industry. Nobody took care, but everybody was pissing on it. But and then later on, when there was certain mechanic proved on the Angry Birds, then a lot of big companies, they started investing. A lot of talent started coming in. When it comes to play to earn, I don't think it's intuitive because we don't play to earn. And earning money should be a byproduct in any way. Not in gaming, but in life also. If your intention is making money, then it doesn't lead to success anyway. We play games to have fun, right? To get away from the restrictions of life. I mean, for thrills, chills of it. We don't play game to make money. I mean, it just kills the game aspect, the game feel of that. I think that was not intuitive. And there are a couple of reasons because of that, and I think those are very important. Number one, the reason it started like that is that Web3, it started with DeFi. If you guys remember, like 2018, 2020, there was a silence. And 2020, those swaps, DeFi protocols, like they were like growing like mushrooms, if you remember, right? So all those kind of fundamentals and the components of the DeFi, staking, token, and borrowing, it all came to gaming, I mean, if it started with gaming, I think it would be like different. The second one, I think the most important one, NFTs started as collectibles. Gaming NFTs are, yes, they are collectibles, they have that collectible aspect, but I think they have utility, they should have utility. You don't buy a gaming NFT, let's say in our case, our fighters, to expecting that the price is going to go 10x. You buy that fighter, since our game is auto-battler, positioning of that fighter, the counter-attack, and things are very important. So that fighter has the utility. The reason you buy that fighter is that you love playing our game, and you have that strategic, kind of, advantage to your opponent. That's why you buy. Yes, if there is demand, and if the game, gains traction, then, the demand goes up, and then the price of the NFTs goes up, but that should happen natural. So the first instinct shouldn't be, you shouldn't play for making money, you should play for, having fun, and that's why we here, this is the best storytelling in the universe probably, we're in a fantasy land, and that's what you should be playing for. The third thing is that all those teams, the first teams, they started this, they didn't have a gaming background. They all came from DeFi background. So all they knew is that to bring those components to here and let it flourish. So, I mean, those three things are important. Play to earn, I don't know. Since we don't have the blueprint yet, there's going to be a lot of monetization models probably coming. Play and earn, play and own, play and master and earn, things like that. But I think, well, we're waiting for that, so we'll see.
Yeah, definitely we'll see, and I totally agree with you actually. And
Okay.
I will keep you last because I know that you will talk a lot about it. So I will pass the Ihor.
Okay.
Okay. I think like the naming play to earn, play and earn, it's the marketing branding for the how to call it, for the script, for the actions. And it's actually not reflect the main purpose. Main purpose to give the control the users what they own. Today I talk a lot about it. I can just share the example. For example, 10 years old, playing on the parents' money for 10 years. Now he is 20 years old. He all this time playing with NFTs. He has like bunch of NFTs collections. And now he want to marry on another person, like to make a family. Okay, love all these things. The time of games finished. He or she don't have a time for it. But a lot of money invested in these assets. Why somebody else should control these assets? Now he or she can sell these assets on the marketplace and buy a car, rent a flat, start new life. It's about efficiency of our life. It's about controlling what you owned, what you invest in. Like if you invest your time, your efforts, it should be somehow paid. This is not about playing as a job to earn resources. In some countries with the poor economy, it's reality, yes. Maybe AI will change it and we all will play to earn because all jobs are now done by AI. But I hope we have a better future. I believe in it. We will do everything to build this better future. But right now, play to earn, it's too early to say. Sooner or later, some kind of governance will be on it. So new customization of this model will make this model self-effective, alive, something that community like Reddit, let's imagine that Reddit is a game. Community like Reddit can vote that Reddit in next year will be a Netflix and educational platform, entertainment platform, or Coursera, educational platform, or a crypto exchange. Vote on it, community will change what is it. It's giving the power to the community, not only about play to earn, play and earn. This is my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I see it's like clear day.
Thank you. Then
Okay.
Can.
Well, actually, it depends on the look that we are looking.
Stop. The signatures.
Okay.
Can likes to speak about it.
All right.
I know this.
Yeah. Let me just give a quick, actually, introduction about what play to earn is to me. The play to earn is actually you're playing a game and you're gaining something, right? So do we see that in also Web2? Yeah, we see that. For example, esport players, they play the game. If they win, they gain something. They're playing it and they're earning it. If you create a model that every people that plays the game earns something, this is not applicable. From my point of view, that is actually wrong.
This is actually mathematics.
Yeah, actually,
point of view.
if you have like, for example, actually when you create your tokenomics and when a project starts with that tokenomics, if they actually like give the whole token base to the players with awards like quests, other things like that, so you're just not a normal player and you can gain whatever you want while playing that game. So this is actually going to make token less valuable because everybody will get it and you don't have to do anything. And even more than that, if that game is not server authoritative, what does that mean? Then that means I can just connect a bot, I can collect the resources, and even if it is a Web2 based server system, and even if we are controlling the things, if if you're just giving it like, for example, daily rewards, then I can create accounts, like 1,000 account, 2,000 account, and I can collect that with the bots. So that is why I mean play to earn model fails us in the Web3 ecosystem, because I can connect the bots, I can do whatever I want with the bots, I can collect the tokens, and that was wrong. But if there was a model, for example, think about a competitive game. For example, we are playing Valorant, right? Yeah. So winner team gets...
I'm not a very good player. But
Yeah, yeah.
You know that I'm playing.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, think about Valorant. And there are two teams, and the winner gets something. But if you can create a mechanism that, for example, you want to play it, and you're buying skins, and if you just get the tokens, like create a mechanism and get tokens from the people, for example, when you buy a skin, there will be actually a cost, and you will get some of the cost and bring it to the pool, and then you will regather it to the people. This is an applicable play-to-earn model. So we cannot say it is failed. We can say that play-to-earns, just give everything to every player, has failed. And even more than that, there is artificial intelligence, and I'm thinking that AI is also will make play-to-earn more valuable, because some jobs will not exist anymore. But in the long term, we will actually implement this artificial intelligence to our brains, as I believe. So that is why we will be smarter. We will be actually like doing the jobs better than ever. So the jobs will regain their actually importance for the humans. But in that timeline, for example, 10 years, 15 years, we will not be able to actually bring that models. Why am I saying that? Because ChatGPT-4 is like 34 gigabytes. And in DNA, we can actually store terabytes of data. If I'm mistaken, please fix me. But we can actually add ChatGPT. It's really small if we add it to our brain. So it's really easy to actually create a connection if we can study on that. So I'm thinking that play-to-earn might be a savior in us in that timeline. But after that, of course, we have to make it competitive things like
no
that.
footprint too early.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did I talk too much?
No, that was fine actually. And maybe zero-sum economies would be the savior. So, my next question. According to latest reports, recent reports, I can't remember the name of the report and from where it comes, but I definitely remember that it says 82% of gamers are not using crypto yet. They don't have even a wallet. And I think that's a great opportunity actually for Web3 games, because you have a huge market and huge and empty market waiting for us there. So, how can we let Web2 gamers to adapt Web3 games?
That number is quite optimistic, by the way. 82%? No, I think 95%. They don't know. Like maybe 98%. Really, I mean, you look at the wallets that are connecting to gaming dApps per month. They're like 15 million, maybe. So this is a private party. It's still a baby. It's really like it's very early stage. So
it's actually 1 million. Someone actually stated that. Yeah.
Well, you know, if you look at the deep radar, you know, I'm talking about wallets, and I'm assuming that most of the, unfortunately, I'm going to get into that. Most of the
I
Web3.
guess that report is not Web3 gamers. It's not about the Web2 gamers who have a wallet, not for the games.
Okay, okay. So because that number would be
maybe
off
the wallet
again.
is an exchange wallet. I don't know.
Okay. I think the adaptation, and I say this all the time, is that now I think it's time to go back to first principle, foundation. What is the foundation? It's the game. As you mentioned, when you focus on making money, tokens, token hype, the product becomes token. Our product is not token. Our product is the game.
Yes.
Is the game. So we have to go back to the fundamentals and, you know, think about why we play the game And believe me, look, before, I mean, first comers, of course, they suffered because they were no infrastructure. Remember back then, maybe there were 2 blockchains. Now they're lay 1s, lay 2s, infrastructure there. So when infrastructure there, what's the time? Time for great content. A content that's going to turn the heads around, and they're going to say, okay, there's something going on here. We don't have it yet. All those games, and God knows, I played probably more Web3 games than Web2 games, probably. And it was not joy, it was not fun, it was like a purpose of, you know, how much money I made this week, what's going on here, and so forth. So it's a time for great content. That's number one. So I will come back to this a lot during this conversation. The second part is that you have the great content, and you think about the Web2 player, you know, you have to provide that environment they're used to. And I kind of get into this argument with Web3 guys a lot. You know, like, I don't think having a wallet should be prerequisite. You don't have a wallet, it's okay. Sign in with your social account. Just come and play this great game. Okay, you're gonna love it and you're gonna play more. That's number 2. Number 3 is payment methods. Why do they have to have a wallet? Okay, now there's the infrastructure. They pay with their credit cards. You settle down on background. You can open their wallets, and you can open, you know, you can work with a lot of service providers for this, and you just provide that environment to them. You know, you should infuse the blockchain technology and make sure that they don't feel that they're doing something else. You know, that's the thing that, you know, you should do, because what do they used to? They're used to playing on that wallet, you know, paying with credit cards, log in with social, just log in and play the game. So you should provide that.
I'm pretty sure that most of the gamers, almost every gamer I can talk about, they do not care about if the game is Web3 or Web2.
Yeah.
They're just playing the games. And
Exactly, right?
That's the
But
point.
most of the Web2 gamers, you know, they don't have a wallet. They don't know what wallet is. They don't know what MetaMask is. They don't know what Polygon is. They don't know what blockchain is.
And
why should they
care
at this
about
point?
it, actually.
They just want to play the goddamn game. So provide the environment so they come in and play the game. And on the other side of the things, the monetization strategy, it should be free to play. You know, lower the cost of entry. Let them play. You know, do not sell them a, you know, NFT first. They have to buy an NFT and play. No, make the NFT, you know, if you trust your game, lower the cost of entry, lower the barriers of entry, make it a free to play. It's all about, you know, for them to play the game, get skillful, and love the game, get addicted to it, and then you upgrade them. And when the time comes, they're going to come to you. Hey, you know, you told me, you know, I can take this money out. I can take this NFT out. I have $1,500 here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, now this is wallet. So you want to take that money and pay your rent, right? So now this is wallet, this is that. I mean, the learning curve should be steep, right? Don't put any barriers to that guy. Well, that's what we've been trying to do, because if you want to be a gateway between those worlds, and now how many people are here? 15 million, 20 million, 3 billion, 20 million? That's a private party. So if you want to get this, at least to reach 100 million users, I think those are the steps that we should be taking.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. And Ihor, you are a service
Education.
provider. You help
Yeah.
studios and
Yeah, I think like main part will be education, because you're right, nobody knows what is the MetaMask. We're too far away, it's too early. And education and giving the power to the community through DAO, decentralized autonomous organizations, to let community rule who will be the developer if the founder burn out, like found another founder, to make the community alive, to make the game alive, to chase everything by the community, the power of the community. I think this is like the key to success. If they see that the company who like get the funds not delivering, they can stop funding the company by voting governance token on the protocol and restructure the funds to another company who will deliver and continue happy playing. See that everything is going right, find the people who will protect from the bots, find the people who will protect from the like imbalance in the game, get more budget, explain like With AI, we can translate a lot of content, and this will speed up the process. So it's like MVP for every new market. Then contact with the professionals and do localization process, not translation. Localization means a bit deeper understanding of what is it. Something like that. So community will be like a business that care about the game. Not all of them. Some of them don't care, but they still have tokens to vote. They have assets in the game. They have some power, something that they earn, something that they built, the time, the reputation that they spent to be like the best chess player in Turkey, for example. It's nice. Some kind of new technology can bring the value, like soulbound token. Some kind of financial system can be implemented, like anti-money laundering filters, to like if you donate, this is the not drug dealers' money. All dirty money goes back to the sender. Only clean money goes to the project. Projects grows up. Don't need to have the office with 1,000 developers. Now it's a different time. Have a bulletproof protocol with right security, right audits, and nothing is too secure. Sooner or later it will be less secure than today. Work on it. Do audits every year. Maybe something you exploit, new vulnerability appears and you need to fix the servers, fix the smart contract, rewrite something. Care about what you are doing, and it will grow like a tree. You need to continuously support the tree, not like throw it in the seed and wait, will it grow? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on something like that.
Yeah.
So
John again.
Yeah. So what was the question? Because you spoke too good. I was focused on you. Thank you very much for your speech.
No, it is about adaptation actually.
Yeah.
How can
So,
we make Web3 gamers adapt Web3?
yeah, actually my answer is ready, of course. Do you know Star Wars? I mean, are there anyone that doesn't know Star Wars? Yeah, may the force be with you. Let me give you an interesting information about Star Wars series. Do you know what? You know what? As far as I remember correctly, when George Lucas sold Star Wars series to the Disney, he kept the rights to produce toys or something like that. So when you buy a toy of Star Wars, for example, when you buy a lightsaber, that doesn't, actually the money doesn't go to Disney. It goes to George Lucas. You know why? Because it is actually generating millions of dollars every year. The people are buying it. So let me ask you one simple question. Star Wars is generated in like 70s or 80s, and the people are still buying lightsabers like Vader helmets or something like that. Why? Because there is a meaning on these. It's a lightsaber, it's a plastic thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no meaning of it. So you just start it and it is not even lighting the area or something like that.
Story.
If it is actually, if you pay too much, like $500 or something like that, it is actually a cool thing. But I mean, it's a plastic thing. But the people are buying it. Why? Because Star Wars is successful, but there is a powerful lore. I am your father scene. I mean, think about Star Wars. It's really powerful.
It's not plastic, it is something from soul.
Yeah, that's why I'm talking about that. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm actually a George. I love George Lucas.
John, you are too young to be Star Wars.
Actually, I love Luke and Darth Revan. Let me tell you one thing. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is one of the best games in the world by Metascore on critics. The people always love that game. You know why? Because there is a story behind, there is a logic behind, there is a meaning behind. So the people are buying that. So the thing is, NFTs are the key to actually improve Web3. That is why they actually become alive.
Yep.
And if we add them value, for example, let's think about it. You know Witcher, right? It's a successful game. It's the CD Projekt Red's one of the most successful game and the best game actually. Cyberpunk was bad. So think about it. You're buying Gerald's sword.
Yep.
It is cool.
Mhm.
But big companies have big talents that they will produce games, better games. They are still holding them and they are not coming to Web3. Why? Because we have seen it in Google Bard example. Google has waited because it is dangerous for them. They have a reputation and they have to save that.
And they have money, you can wait.
We have seen it even.
The risk is not.
Yeah,
the
the
same.
risk is too
Yeah.
high. Even Cyberpunk example,
Yeah.
they actually lost some of their reputation. So so actually, this is what it is. So NFTs are the K, and even more than that, we need actually these experienced, talented developers on the Web3 side.
Yeah, because
Like
they're
you.
consumer product.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why.
yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
why.
it.
You know, internet kind of flourished with apps and the consumer side of things, right? You know, like Instagram
You
and
know
so on.
what?
So
Let
that's
me-
the same thing will happen here. So
Actually,
right on.
you know why? You know what? I'm actually at the Castrum, and there are some investment projects coming to us, and there is a project that we invested, Euphorica, and when I first saw it, they said that we made this engine, and I was like, no, it is impossible. How did they do it? Their CTO is 25 years, has 25 years experience, and he developed 5 different game engines. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So talented people are coming, and they're producing beautiful, amazing, and powerful
That's
things.
promise.
Euphorica
That's
is
a hope.
one
Yeah,
of these
yeah,
examples.
yeah,
So we will
yeah.
be seeing that, but we shouldn't think that Web 2 is different than Web 3.
No.
It is a matter of choice. So you can play Web 2, not connecting to web wallets. You can connect the wallet by your things, other things like that. So they will be actually merged, not differentiated than each other.
Yep,
That's it.
right on.
Okay. So, another question. We have 2 game studios here and 1 service provider
Yeah.
for game studios, and my question is very simple actually. And both of you are very experienced developers in Web 2 games. And now, both of you, I'm not sure about you now what you were, are just developing a game for Web 3. And I just want to ask you, what is the difference of developing a Web 2 game and a Web 3 game? And what was the main challenge between them actually? The main challenge of your transition to Web 3 actually. And also, Ihor, I just want to ask the question because I know that you are helping the studios for this transition.
Yeah, can I start?
Not true?
Yeah.
No, no.
I think main problem is lack of experience of founder, of business owner in tokenomics. They have no clue what is it, how to build it, and post-tokenomics period when it goes to the open market. They don't know, they heard that pump and dump is something like existing, but they don't experience it on the project. When the tokens are dumped, the community don't want to play the game, so they afraid what they don't know. They don't know where is the experts, where is the specialists who can help. Prices are very high, where to find investor, and everything is going to not building a game, like playing the quest how to build a game. You need to open the door, find a VC, pitch VC. VC will introduce you to like game studio who can help you to build, but game studio don't know about tokenomics. He will introduce you to like tokenomist. She will introduce you to the like another person, and the person burning out because he want to build a game, not build the financial product.
Yeah.
Most of Web3 games, successful Web3 games, they have something like bank functionality inside the game, and this is very cool if you know that it's wisely done. Like every detail was tailor-made before the game started. Something like that. This is the, I think, most complicated part of this journey. Everything else is simple. Tokenization is simple. After you have the plan, basically building exact MVP or things that you will go to market will take like 1 month, 3 months, like small amount of time. But combining it, it can take a year. Just open the door, knock into the closed door, find the right partners. That's why we working with other good, trusted partners in the industry to create an alliance, to help, to hand-picked the most promising startups, bring them like due deal, bring them everything that they need, put it on the VC table and said like, if you want to invest, these guys are good. The founder is good, the idea is good, this team will do the tech stuff, this team will do the marketing, all companies in one ecosystem, something like that. It will take time, maybe half of the year, maybe the year. We are not rushing. We know that sooner or later, if we're small, we will be eaten by a big player. If we're big, we will like merge with the small players. So we just doing it because we can, something like that.
Yeah, cool. And
Go on. Okay.
which one? Uluc.
The challenges, right?
Yeah,
Web
the
2 to
challenges.
Web3. Again, I'm going to come back to the product. There shouldn't be any challenges there because it's the same thing. The core game aspect, core game elements should be there. There's nothing there. But we're dealing with another thing here. And before I said that, I think when you, it's the open economy.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of countries around the world, they choose closed economies like Sharia, like fascism, like, you know, all those things. It's just that to control the money better, right? You got to keep the money inside, man, or for God forbids if they take their dollars outside of this country. Sounds familiar, right?
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with a closed economy, like traditional games, you have a closed economy, right? It's just, it stays right there. You cannot take the assets out, you cannot take the money out. But when you're dealing with an open economy, it's just that I believe that only the core and sober people that knows quantitative finance and traditional finance will succeed in this. It's just a combination of those things. So teams will change. There's going to be new titles. Tokenomist, right? Token economist, treasury management. Yeah. And like I forgot to tell like before, when you building a Web3 game, like I think my idea is to start simple. You might have 1 token, 2 tokens, 10 tokens, token yourself out. But you gotta have a buyback plan. You gotta have a strategy. Otherwise, there's gonna be inflation. You know, look at what central banks are doing. If there's an abundance of something, that equals inflation, that value goes down. If your intention is just, okay, I'm gonna make some money on the tokens, then that's another thing. But if you want to control your economy, why don't start simple, right? NFTs are token also, start with NFTs. You can manage your treasury with NFTs. You can do a lot of things with NFTs. So the first thing is that I don't think gaming should be an issue. Gaming is there always. I hope that we can take the flag a little bit further with experiences. I'm gonna come to that. The second thing is the economy, right? You need someone who's going to understand the treasury management, the economy there, with your developer, with your game designer. We went through like 1 month with our game designer. What's the sweet spot for the number of NFTs, right? Yeah. Because that's a different ball game now. This is this different beast. That's the second thing. The third thing is that the community management. This is not social media. Like those guys, they're whitelisted and they're either waiting for your NFT or they have your token or they have your NFT. They're your partners. So once, you know what happens when this happens? They become evangelists. for us, like we just started like community building, and it was amazing. Like, you know, those guys, they're so engaged. You know, they do those distribution raids like no time. So I think that the meaning of distribution and publishing will change with this, because those guys, they have the token, they have the NFT, they're an evangelist, and they work really hard for you. $150 billion is spent on Facebook and Google. How much of that is coming back to the community?
Even before you publish your game, actually.
Exactly, 65%, 60%. I think that rules of the game will change. But coming back to the community, you have to know how to engage with the community. That's like a, you know, kind of the social media manager, as you know. You have to have collaborations with biggest, you know, NFT projects, NFT gaming collaborations, the moderations of Discord. You have two channels like Discord, and Twitter is #1. So the idea will change. And again, you need someone that's going to understand it. And as far as the, you know, the monetization models will go, you're going to try. You know, we're going to try a lot of monetization models. If this not, it's just a name. At the end of the day, there's a great game, you play it, get skillful, and side as a byproduct, you're going to earn something. That's the name of the business. But as a open economy, everyone is scared. Like, not you, like everyone. Like the old treasuries and central banks are, oh my God, they're not going to take their dollars. So that's a thing to solve, but that's a great problem to solve. It's very fun, and it's very, very, very engaging thing.
Yeah, actually, and there are no benchmarks for it yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it.
We don't have even success stories for that, and we can't just copy one model and just apply it for our game.
But we can build better
feeling.
products because it's open source, you know, that's composability. So we're going to have that also.
Yeah. So, John.
All right.
Go on, Tiger.
Okay. So let me just give another example to you. I
not
know
Star Wars.
not Star Wars, but CD Projekt
Galactica.
Red officials will be hating from me really much. So actually, let's give an example about Cyberpunk.
Yep.
So Cyberpunk has been released. It was a Web 2 game. It was actually bad in optimization. What did they do? They fixed it, right? Fixed it. Okay. So in Web 3, when you release your token, it is on the exchange. If it drops down, of course, actually, if you have the majority of the other people, you can update the chain, update the token or whatever you call it. But
Or use the VC money.
yeah, then this is the problem actually. It is really hard for you to do. So you have to launch it properly at the start. Yeah. But in Web 2, you have actually a power that you can actually, for example, there is early access model, right? No. So you're saying that, that there can be bugs. And you know what? I was actually playing early access games for actually improving my look to the games. They were really good games. You know, one developer actually created a section, known bugs. So don't do this, don't do that. So he wasn't fixing the bugs. He was actually informing the players, so there are bugs. When you ask it,
so smart.
Yeah, when you ask it, he was saying that it's an early access game.
I already warned you.
Yeah, it's an early access game. What can I do?
Yeah.
But in Web 3, actually some companies are also trying that. And it's really dangerous. You cannot be No Man's Sky, for example. No Man's Sky in Web 2, it was a disaster actually. It was bad. And then the developer team fixed it. I played it years later, and it is really good. But in Web 3, you don't have that chance because there are token VCs, there are lots of things inside of that, and you're on the exchange. So it's not like stock market. It's not like a stock market. There are trading bots, there are lots of things, and they are actually changing it. You know what? Between the stock market and the token, in stock market, it's about your company. If it is going low, there is no problem. But in trades, you're using that token inside of your game. It is affecting everything. For example, you're gonna gain money from NFTs,
Yeah.
but if token prices are low, then your NFTs, for example, you will like to sell, they're done. So that is why we have to be cautious.
Like
And it
Animoca
is
brands,
actually-
they have a bunch of people. Once they invest,
Yeah,
they have 50
yeah.
people, they play with the games, with the tokens. You know, they use
That's
those tokens,
totally
yeah.
what it is, actually. And even more than that, we can instantiate all other differences from that route. This starts the everything you stated, it is actually starting everything. So in order to create a good Web3 game, I believe that we have to build a lore before releasing the token, before
Yeah,
releasing it.
yeah.
As you stated
Yeah.
in your last answer, it is really important, and I support that opinion all the time.
Yeah.
So create the game first, then build the token. This
Yeah.
is important.
Can I add something here? Because,
Yes, of
yeah, do we have time? As I told you, like I'm from Lehman Brothers, right? You know, investment banking. So when I first saw this initial coin offerings mania, I was so captivated by the participation rate. Everyone from all around the world, $10, $5, you see like in 10 minutes they raised $500,000, $1 million. I was like, whoa. But they did the same mistakes that, you know, central banks have been doing, you know, issuing tokens like no tomorrow, inflation and so forth. When you look at, you know, I always give examples from finance. When you look at private equity, companies, they don't go to public before traction.
Yeah.
Because when you go public, you have a public, you know, you have market share, you're making some revenues, maybe it's profits. And, you know, when you buy a stock, what do you look at? Price to earnings ratio. So I'm thinking, you know, until we see some price to earnings ratios here, because there's no earnings yet, anyone. So the token is here, it's a creature of its own, company's here, or the company's here, token is here. We have seen like 1.5 billion market caps with no game, right? You know the game, so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some unbalance here. That's why we choose not to release a token. We're, you know, managing everything on NFTs. I'm not saying that this is the must, but I believe that until you have that proof and until you have that kind of confidence in your company, the traction, and then you can release the token. And it should be going parallel with the performance of the company. Otherwise, it's going to go bust.
Use the right tools, for example, vesting, to do not put all tokens on the market.
Exactly.
Have some tokens that will be unlocked for some period of time. This will not crash for the first error or second error to the that game. It will give you a chance to get mistakes, to earn when you do something like good decisions, and to lose when you do bad decisions. But still getting the experience and manage the game. You know that a lot of value locked. Think about most successful cryptocurrency projects in the world, Bitcoin. At the beginning, a lot of value was locked, and miners should mine it, get it out to own it. Here we can use vesting contracts and lock a lot of liquidity or value by intent, by plan, something like that. For example, vesting for VCs, vesting for development company, vesting for marketings. And the chances for rug pull will be less, at least. So you work with risks here. You use additional tools, make system more solid, something like that.
Yeah, the problem is greed, though, you know, when your market maker is greedy, remember, we've had many times, when the company is greedy, when the VC is greedy, everyone is greedy, then some, you know, interesting things happen. That's what we've been living here on the crypto side.
Most of
Unfortunately.
the VCs are greedy, actually. That's their business.
All parties, you know, get that greed action.
Most, but not all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, not all
most of them. But that's like enough, unfortunately.
So, John, you are the general moderator.
Yeah, I'm the general moderator.
And you know
yeah,
the
we're at
schedule.
we actually spent
Done.
lots of time. Yeah.
Are you
Time's
done?
up.
Are you done? Really, I have a lot of questions to ask. Then we can just go and continue there, okay?
Okay.
So thank you very much for joining us, actually. And
Thank you very much.
You.
Thank you.